finally happened. I did finally get my hands on my Ultra 2s, and this is a blaster that I've been hinting, that I've been very, very excited for, because it does something that we don't generally see. I don't have an immense hatred for the NERF Ultra darts, so I'll get that out of the way right now. And there are things that Ultra darts will be able to do that standard foam darts won't be able to do, and this is one of those blasters. It's one of those blasters that makes me think, why did they start with the Ultra one when they could have started with this one? Because I have a feeling this will completely change my opinion on Ultra. That being said, I'm late. I'm getting this video out days after other people have gotten their videos out, and I did break down and watch American Foam's review of the Ultra 2, or at least snippets of it. And there's a couple of things. One, they mentioned that they had some issues that I will have to test, because I have 2 of them, so if I have issues, even in one of them, that's a pretty decent sample size. And there's already a conversion kit from Rad Blasters to make this thing shoot standard foam dart. Wow, that thing is flippin' massive. I kind of figured, but that's a little bit more blatant. So, I don't know Rad Blasters, but I'll have a link down to that in the description as well if you want to pick that up. I can't vouch anything for them, but hey, a lot of people are going to be excited for that. That is something I will talk about more towards the end of the video. But we've gotten the Ultra 2. I guess I should take a look at the back of the box really quick. It claims it has fastback reloading, motorized. It is a flywheel blaster. All the usual blurbs about the Ultra Dart, and it claims it has a 120-foot range, or maximum range, and it's compatible with only NERF Ultra darts. Patent is pending. Why would they put that on the box for the consumer? Why would I care about such things? Interesting design choices, Hasbro. And that's about everything. It's a reasonably cool package otherwise. This thing is flippin' huge. I kind of figured it would be, but it is. Oh my lord, this thing is massive. Wow. I mean, it looks like the Good Samaritan from Hellboy, but that's even more. Let's find something to compare this to. So here's it compared to a strong arm. Actually, not that much of a difference now that I think about it. Huh. I mean, maybe it just looks bigger than it actually is. Here's it compared to a Shell Strike. Shell Strike is noticeably more compact. Here's it compared to a Mediator, which is a magazine-fed blaster. Yeah, about the same size, actually. Here's it compared to a Hammer Shot. I mean, it is a bit bigger. There's really no going around that, but the Hammer Shot doesn't really exactly have a whole lot of fat to trim. In fact, the Rebel ones, what is this called, the 5x5? Kind of one of the most trimmed ones. And compared to a Hot Shock. So, it's a bit big. It's, as soon as I saw it compared to the Strong Arm, that's where things got a little bit more real, but, okay, well, right off the bat, the ergonomics are not terrible, but not great. This, I have noticeably small hands, and this is... Ooh, that's a really, really nice trigger pull. This is kind of not... It's really fat, which is, I think, my main issue, but I can still grab it. I just can't get that far around the grip, so that's something to mention. It is Gold Ultra on this side, Orange Ultra on this side. This is actually the battery cover, so let's open that up, because I believe it takes 6 AA's, much like your Strife. Yep, 4 up here, 2 down here. Let's power this thing up. Go. Not a whole lot of room in that battery cover, but I bet it could be drilled out a little bit more because all the action is going to be down here. Has NERF tactical rails on it, which is interesting. No muzzle attachments, no stock attachments, nothing. That is your lot. There's a sling point right here, a sling point right here. It is a pistol, so theoretically it is holsterable. It looks like it could be holstered. Jam door right there. Inside you can see the flywheels, which looks like they got a pretty high crush. But here's the thing I'm the most interested in. How hard is this thing to reload? So the first thing I want to do right off the bat is I want to see how pliable these Ultra darts are. Because remember, the Ultra 1 darts seem to snap really easily. The boxed Ultra darts that I got didn't. And we have ourselves some superior Ultra darts. Interesting! And I'm going to shove that right in there. And, it does have little stops in there. I'm actually curious how this thing even works. It probably has some kind of door. I haven't paid attention to the internals that much. Here's a couple of pictures if you really want to get your hands on them. These are from Kronos Gem in my Fuzzy Walrus Industries Discord channel, link down below. And I'm guessing there's some kind of gate that prevents them from going too far forward, which is a brilliant design. The cylinder is free spinning. It's really easy to get in there. It sounds beefy. Oh my good. Okay, everything I wanted about this blaster. I do want to see if this chamber is the one that fires next, and it is. So you can instantly reload one of the chamber and use this blaster. The biggest problem, I would say, is the fact that one of the chambers is blocked off, but if you wanted to load 5 into the 6-shooter, you definitely could. It will require you to index that over to get the 6th one in there, though. But that right there, that mechanic, that is something we have needed for a long time. And instantly, even if you kept this thing shooting ultra darts, makes it an absolutely amazing blaster. Is it huge? Yes. Is it primary worthy? Possibly. That's something I want to talk about. But just as a sidearm where you can load everything into the back and use flywheels, and that's so good. That is absolutely so flippin' good. But the question of the hour is, how hard does it hit? Although that's not comparable to standard elite darts. But more importantly, what's the accuracy and how far do the darts travel? So we'll take a look at the chrono readings really quick just to satiate our curiosity. It's kind of weird that the muzzle's all the way down there with this thing, but I guess I'm used to that from Nerf blasters. 80.6. 82. 72. 80, 84, and 81. So, keep in mind, again, those are not comparable to elite darts, but that is our baseline for this blaster. I'm going to take it outside. We're going to see exactly how this thing shoots. Alright, gonna start with the 6 darts it came with, then I'm going to switch to the 6 darts that the other one came with, and then I'm going to switch to 6 random Ultra darts I pulled out of the box of Ultra darts I have, which is a mix of the ones that came with the Ultra 1, and of course the ones I pulled out of the box. Should note, batteries are, these are not fresh, brand new batteries. They're a little bit old. They have been used in other blasters before, not very much, just for review purposes. So, the velocity and whatnot is subject to be better or worse. It kind of really depends. I'm just doing my best here to give you kind of an average. Okay, so that probably was impossible to see, and I'll walk you out there at the very end. They do go very far, and some of them, I would say 3 out of the 6, were pinpoint accurate. But there was one that curved off exceptionally, and there was one that kind of wobbled in the air. Let's go ahead and give this thing a reload, because I really like reloading this thing. Alright, volley 2. I would say 4 out of 6 shots went completely straight that time. So, 1 didn't do very bad. One of them, again, curved off really heavily to the right. We'll be able to find those darts. I mean, I'm not aiming this thing perfectly by any means, but that was noticeable. It caught the wind. It looks like I only have 5 random darts, so we'll just have to see what these do and if they're any better. It looked like 3 darts kind of spun out of control, and it kind of seemed like I wasn't getting that good of range. So let me walk you out there now. So we have an Ultra Dart right here. Not exactly sure how that happened. Wasn't really paying attention to that one, to be perfectly honest. We have one here. We got one there. Another one, 2 right there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, actually 4 here. That's a pretty good spread right there. And then there's one right there. Impossible to see, but there is one right there. And there might even be some more, but the problem with the Ultra Darts is they're basically just impossible to find after you fire them. anything else right now, but I will point out, yeah, I would say it's about rival range. Just about. Maybe a little bit less. This is about, actually, I think on the upper end of what Rival usually does for me. All right, and here's an accuracy test. I say that with quotations that you couldn't see. I'm gonna be aiming for the white square on that door. This is roughly about 45 feet. So this is kind of typical engagement range for most stock blasters. We'll see how the Ultra 2 here works out. It favors heavily to the right, I'm starting to figure out. As I try to aim it a little bit more carefully, I'm noticing that. So I'm gonna see if I can't compensate for that on this next volley. Well, we got one there that kind of went exactly where I wanted it to, but again, still kind of overcorrecting to the right. Yeah, some of those shots, it could just be monstrous trigger pull, but some of those shots are really off target, but it's not nearly as bad as the Ultra 1, I would say. Well, unsurprisingly, I really do like the Ultra 2. It is one of the few, I would say, primary capable revolver blasters, and there are things I cannot forgive. We're going to start with the price tag. This thing is $25, which is a bit more than I think you're getting. You only get the 6 Ultra darts and the blaster with no batteries. $25 is a lot of money. I can get full auto blasters for that price that are magazine fed. And that's kind of worrying. This should have at least come with 12 darts. This is ridiculous how much money you're spending on something like this, but if they give you 12 darts with a $25 blaster, they can't sell you 20 darts for $9. So I see where that comes from. And the accuracy is still not quite there. The second test I don't think is even worth talking about because I was using a mix of darts at that point, but it still was kind of inaccurate. Now, if I were to just whip this out as a secondary and dump all 6 darts, I'd most likely hit my target. And I have reason to believe that if this thing is modified, assuming it doesn't destroy the darts, that does seem like a pretty high crush cage in there, all things considered. They aren't springy, though. That is something they have already changed from the original Ultra 1 design. These things are solid. They do not move, so they might be onto something with that one, but the accuracy isn't there, which is, that's kind of a problem. That's a bit worrisome. This thing kind of needed to be accurate, but maybe with a 3S LiPo shoved in here, or a 2S LiPo, it would perform better. We can only hope. We'll definitely be exploring that in the very near future. And it's big. This thing, I mean, compared to a strong arm, it's not that bad. Compared to a hammer shot, this thing is bigger. But this thing will, even on Ultra, shoot farther than any hammer shot could ever dream, and it's way, way quicker to reload. Even if you wanted to talk about doing drop cylinder mods for a strong arm, this is way more practical. Now, I do want to talk about Rad Blaster's conversion kit for this thing, because that is something that I don't think I personally will do. My logic behind that, even though you most likely will, and I can kind of encourage it as long as their kit works, and it comes with a new flywheel cage and comes with, you know, little inserts to put darts and stuff in there. If you can personally get behind that, do it. In fact, I might still do that, even though I'm saying I'm not. But I already have a Hurricane, and if I wanted to shoot full-length darts out of a revolver, I can have a Hurricane. I can even have a Hurricane with rear loading. It isn't nearly as fast, but it's capable of being done, and I can just swap out entire rotation, you know, rotary magazines when I need to, and it's like 1/3 the size of this, and the Hurricane can hit up to 190 FPS. So I don't see personally the reason, but that's all on you. And the Hurricane, all the parts and everything like that wouldn't be that much more expensive than buying an internal kit for this thing and shoving it all together. And yeah, you can see my logic behind that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm saying personally, I don't know if I will. But again, I will have a link to that down in the description. I don't know them. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully they actually deliver the product you're ordering. I've never heard anything bad about Rad Blasters, so yeah. But the Ultra 2, I'm gonna say it's definitely worth picking up. If you thought you would like the Ultra 2, pick it up. Just buy it. If you're hesitant, you don't need it, you're one of those, I have an FTL3, I don't need anything else, it's the best blaster ever, then you probably don't need to get one or wait till it's on sale or you thrift one. But for me, I love this blaster. I'm going to be tinkering with it a lot because there are things I want to do. The first of which you'll see very soon is I'm slapping the Ultra 1 stock on the back of this thing, because that will give me 8 darts, you know, in a stock, and it will look like a stock. It'll be awesome. So I'm immediately going to go do that. And of course, we got to talk about dual wielding this thing, because I do have 2 of them, but I don't even have enough batteries to run 2 of them right now. So we're going to save that for another video, probably later, a little bit later after this one, because I just need to go to the store and get some batteries. But I need to get this video edited and uploaded before nobody cares. The Ultra 2, it's not perfect, but it's something I've wanted for a while, and while we have gotten one other thing very similar to it, this does it so much better, and I honestly don't mind the fact that it shoots Ultra, and I'm kind of stoked to see if it can't get a little bit better just at shooting these standard Ultra darts. But let me know what you think about the Ultra 2 down in the comments section below. But otherwise, I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to get your name on my workbench like all these fabulous people that make it possible for me to splurge and blow $50 on 2 Ultra 2s, thank you so much, Elijah Allman, Cryo Gaijin, Drew Benson, Commandant 100, and everyone else. It's a $5 a month or more option on my Patreon. I will literally cut your name out in vinyl and put it on my workbench for all to see in all of my videos. So please consider checking that out at patreon.com/WalcomS7 with a link down below and in the pinned comment. But of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different video.
Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new